This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. Vice President Bharat Jagdeo acknowledged on Friday that an independent regulator for the oil and gas sector in the form of a petroleum commission is critical to any government's regulatory architecture. At the same time, Dr. Jagdeo said the absence of such a body in Guyana does not mean that the sector is hanging from a dangerous precipice. He said, one should not be hasty to assume that the establishment or presence of such a body would mean corruption is automatically prevented in the oil industry. According to him, a petroleum commission simply ensures that all payments for the sector are properly accounted for, that key financial documents are not hidden, and licenses that are awarded are made public. Chartered accountant and attorney at law Christopher Ram had hammered home the importance of this crucial regulator while bemoaning the seeming unwillingness of the current government to get the ball rolling on this matter. Ram had also expressed the firm conviction that this state of affairs, along with the absence of critical reports on ExxonMobil's local content performance and its production offshore, do not augur well for transparency and accountability as promised by the Ali administration. In other news, in a matter of weeks, a new company is expected to commence auditing the expenses incurred in the development of the country's oil wealth. This was the update provided by Vice President Jagdeo on Friday. Guyana has a contractual 2-year timeline to ensure the audit of expenses is handed down by oil partners operating in its offshore starboard block. Guyana has been hit with some delays in assessing the fairness of these development sums attributed to a lack of capacity by local companies to ensure the relevant checks and balances. Jagdeo said that given the available information, Guyana is expected to commence auditing the 2017 to 2020 oil-related expenses as soon as the new company is chosen to undertake the work. And now let's tell you, after earning $212 million in payments from Norway for its carbon services, Guyana is ready to build on this financial achievement by tapping into more market-based mechanisms that exist today for forest climate services. This is according to the Guyana's Low Carbon Development Strategy 2030, which focuses on harnessing Guyana's unique advantages to create a new low-carbon economy. The document is currently the subject of countrywide consultations. Importantly, LCDS 2030 has 3 objectives, one of which is to promote forest climate services and other ecosystem services. From early 2022, the document notes that there is a strong possibility that Guyana can access market-based mechanisms for forest climate services that include private as well as international public sector financing. In other news, one of 13 contractors vying to build the wing of the Diamond Secondary School, which was destroyed by fire in 2018, has entered a bid that is $54 million lower than the engineer's estimated cost, $75 million. The contractor entered a bid of just over $21 million for the first phase of the project, which is slated to be completed in 2 phases. Both phases are estimated by the engineer to cost $163 million. This project is being undertaken by the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development through the Regional Democratic Council of Region 4. The reconstruction of the wing at the school comes merely 3 years after it was destroyed by a fire in 2018. And now let's tell you, almost 2 weeks ago, concerns were raised in the public regarding the legality of the environmental permit issued to ExxonMobil's subsidiary, ESSO, by the local regulator, the EPA. But to date, the organization has not laid these worries to rest. Environmentalist Simone Mangal-Joly had written to the EPA head, Mr. Kemraj Parsram, last April 16th, insisting that the Yellowtail permit be cancelled while citing blatant irregularities in the conduct of the environmental impact assessment process for the project. The specialist outlined 4 areas in which she believes the process was flawed. For one, she argued that there was a failure to assess the significant impacts of the project before its approval, as the Environmental Resources Management, the consultant that prepared the assessment for the oil company, merely referred the public to sections of the assessment to understand the project, rather than clear up any misconceptions or directly provide answers. On the other hand, the environmentalist also challenged the selection of the firm to conduct the assessment on behalf of the oil company, as the consultant has been the lone agency to conduct such studies for Exxon to date. Time has now moved on to 12 hours 9 in Guyana. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio. We will resume after the break.
Nothing in life is free, but the My Digicel app is. You don't need to be on a data plan to use the app. You can conveniently chat with Ruby or an agent for help. Check your account balance, activate a Prime bundle, or gift it to a friend. Send credit. Check the Georgetown and Burpees Bridge schedules. Activate a roaming plan. Play Shake to Win for cool prizes. So don't worry about a data plan, buddy. Download the My Digicel app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store today. Digicel. Better together.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Former Health Minister and PNCR member Ms. Valda Lawrence on Thursday addressed what she described as lies told by Vice President Bharat Jagdeo as he responded to a Bath Settlement Berbice resident during an outreach to the region on Wednesday. Jagdeo was reportedly questioned by a resident as it relates to the non-increase of NIS benefits for retired workers when he explained that the agency was bankrupt due to the downsizing of the sugar industry by the former coalition government. The MP reasoned that Jagdeo must be reminded that it was under his watch that the NIS resources were plundered, as she highlighted that $2.5 billion was invested by the Vice President into common shares for the Berbice Bridge and other $810 million into the said bridge to cover the non-performing assets in the entity. Jagdeo, in response, did not make any mention of any of the other investments with the resources of NIS, but explained that the Berbice Bridge venture led to returns in the billions for the agency. In other news, after earning $212 million in payments from Norway, its carbon services, Guyana is ready to build on this financial achievement by tapping into more market-based mechanisms that exist today for forest climate services. Days after killing her and burying her body in a shallow grave opposite their home, a 55-year-old laborer confessed to police that he committed the heinous act on April 22nd. In police custody is Avaman Terry Permal of Kilcoy Chesney, Quarantine Berbice. He was arrested for murdering his wife of over 30 years, Mati Permal, called Data Lee, a 53-year-old housewife. The couple shared 4 children, including professional cricketer Veersamy Permal. The man told police that he had beaten and choked his wife until she was unconscious and then wrapped her lifeless body in a bedspread. After this, the man said that he walked over to an empty lot opposite their home, located some 100 yards away, dug a hole, then returned to the house to drag the body into the hole and covered it with dirt before returning home. And now let's tell you, Guyana's Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben made it clear on Friday that bars will be shut down for noise nuisance after receiving a third warning from police ranks in the affected areas. Recently, citizens have been accusing the Guyana Police Force of not doing enough to stop noise nuisance by bars in residential areas, especially during the wee hours. It seems as though the public calls for citizens have prompted the minister to come up with a solution. The minister said that there have been occasions when the force was not very proactive in such matters and promised to ensure improvement in this regard. And now we wrap things up with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. These days, we don't have to look too far to see that the world is in a dire state. In our communities, there are people suffering. They are looking for any sign of hope for a better future that seems out of reach, despite the wealth we possess. At the rate things are unfolding in our homeland, we are left to believe that we are doomed. But we believe that there is hope beyond the scope of human limitation. To access this, we believe that Guyanese must fall on their knees in prayers and beseech the Creator to melt the stony hearts of our leaders so that they can do right by Guyana, a bountiful and beautiful land that the Creator saw it fit to entrust us with. Let it be known, far and wide, we will fight, now through prayers as well, for a better Guyana until we draw our very last breath. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8